Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. We are talking a little schedule release news. We saw the NFL schedule, specifically our New York Jets schedule, get leaked, and as of, I think, 8 o'clock is when everything was officially getting announced anyway. So on your way in, hit that like button if you enjoy this sort of stuff. But let's move on to our, I guess, only topic of the night. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some polls in the comment section for each of these games. So if you look to my this way, you'll see this year's schedule broken up by game, time, channel, all that good stuff. We start off not against the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. I knew it was too good to be true. It's a little bit deflating, especially seeing that we're versing the Ravens. Talk about getting smacked in the mouth. How many of you guys want to face the Ravens instead of the Patriots? I'm sorry. I would much rather versus the Patriots. So let's go through this little by little. I'll give you some of my thoughts. I'd love to break down what the other teams are kind of looking at for their schedules to see if they're coming off a short week's rest coming into some of these games. So maybe I'll have a little more insight as things kind of progress. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a poll, and we're going to determine, are the Jets going to win each game? It may wind up being us being 17-0, but I'm going to put the poll question in there. Do Jets win week 1 versus Ravens? And we'll see, try to be honest as best you can. And we'll see what we wind up getting as far as our record prediction. And I'll give you guys my record prediction at the tail end of this video. Should have planned earlier and grabbed my pen before this. All right. So September 11th against the Ravens, I am going to say this is going to be a loss. The Ravens were a really, really good team last year. They lost a ton of players to like ACL tears. Like I think they lost like 3 running backs and multiple corners. I don't think there's any way. I don't know if we're going to be able to contain Lamar, put it that way. And we have to prove we can stop the run because that's really where they're going to kill us. And depending on how Bateman progresses their wide receiver, obviously they do not have Marquise Brown anymore. So you got to kind of, maybe ding them a little bit for that. But this team's going to be built on the run and the tight end. And the Jets have to prove that they can try to stop this. It's going to be an electric crowd week 1. I will be there. I'm sure all the Jet content creators are going to have a meetup. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll let you guys know where we're going to wind up being. But Ravens, 1 p.m., I'm marking this down as a loss. I don't have a whole lot of faith in us going up against a team that is so well polished and just, well coached. And it's not saying that, we're not well coached or anything like that, but the draft they just had, the players, I think most people are going to pencil this one in for a loss. The Browns the following week were at Cleveland. Now, this is going to hinge drastically on whether or not Deshaun Watson ends up getting suspended. I would think they will suspend him unless they wait till next year because he's only getting paid like I think $1 million or $2 million this year trying to like skirt around the suspension and losing a bunch of money. So, I mean, personally, I hope he's not suspended so that way they ding him next year for the $50 million. But right now, if he is suspended, this could very well be a win or a loss. So I'll put win/loss in my column. And then we'll kind of give a little bit of a scale towards the end here. 59% of people are saying, yes, the Jets are going to beat the Ravens. That's going to be interesting. Week 3 against the Cincinnati Bengals, September 25th. Now, look, we beat them last year. We surprised them. I do think our team is better, and I'm not necessarily sure their team is better. I mean, all their guys are getting another year of experience. They obviously were in the Super Bowl last year. So they're going to be riding pretty high. There's a really good shot they're going to be a good team next year. But I don't think it's necessarily an insurmountable game for us to try and win. Now, I will pencil this one in as a loss because as far as I'm concerned, if you were in the Super Bowl last year, it's hard for me to justify the Jets really, coming out with a victory here. The Jets did hold Ja'Marr Chase to a relatively low, stat line. He did wind up dropping a touchdown, so he could have had a touchdown on that as well. Joe Burrow, are we going to be able to apply pressure to him? I don't know. It's going to be tough to see. It's going to be interesting to see because the Jets' wins against the Titans last year and Cincinnati last year were so kind of fluky and just didn't necessarily feel like a constant, performance, I guess. You got some wow plays in both those games. I think the Jets have the talent to beat a good amount of the teams on this schedule. It's just a matter of if the inexperience from being so young impedes that. So I'm penciling in the Bengals as a loss for right now. The Steelers, October 2nd, I'm calling that a win. I really do. And I've had some conversations with some of my friends talking about what the Steelers team is going to look like, because you see what Big Ben was last year, and he clearly was a shell of his former self. Is Mitch Trubisky a improved quarterback to final year of his career Big Ben? I don't think Pickett's going to play at all this year, or at least not till, beyond the Jet game, I would think. So does Mitch have enough to push past us? Now, last year, the Steelers squeaked into the playoffs because of that tie they had. They were 9-7-1. So 9-8 wouldn't have got you in. 10-6 would have got you in. So the 7 seed, that's what we're competing against right now. The Steelers, though, I think the Jets can win this game. At Heinz Field, maybe a little more challenging, but I do think the Jets can win this one on the road. The Steelers actually have the shortest distance traveled from home facility for their entire schedule. I believe they're playing the AFC East, the NFC East, and their own division, so they're not traveling like anywhere. I think the only team that they were scheduled to play that was like a West Coast team, I believe, is Seattle, and is that right? I believe it's Seattle, and they're playing them in Pittsburgh. So, I'm pretty sure Seattle has, the furthest distance to travel of, any of the teams in the league. So I'm going to pencil in Week 4 as a W for the Jets. Week 5 versus the Dolphins. I think the Jets can definitely win this game. I am not afraid of Tua. And you look at the way they you look at the thing they released yesterday. Did you guys see the video of Tua throwing a bomb to Tyreek Hill? And it looked like a punt. Tyreek Hill was standing still, catching it, had to come back for the ball. This dude's going to get clocked. There's no way Tua's going to be able to get this guy the ball down the field. What's going to wind up happening is he's going to be running a whole bunch of bubble screens and these quick slants and things like that. Things that are going to drive us a little crazy, but I don't think we're going to get beat over the top by the Dolphins. I'm not afraid of the Dolphins. I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're necessarily better than the Jets, maybe in certain areas, but not overwhelmingly so. So I'm going to pencil that in as a win. Week 6, we go at the Packers. I don't see any way we win this. Now, I did hear that they are playing the Giants Week 5 in London. I'm not sure if that is a fact. So chat, let me know if you've seen the Giants schedule and where that falls, because I'm pretty sure that the Packers are going to have to be traveling, which normally teams would get a bye week after that, which is kind of a slap in the face for the Jets, because the Packers are like, no, we'll opt out of the bye for that week, and we'll take the Jets. What the hell? Come on. If that is true, I'm going to pencil that in as a loss. Packers are going to look drastically different, but look, Aaron Rodgers is, incredible. There's until we can prove we can hang with the big boys, this one's going to be a tough one. And I know they're drastically different. They don't have Davante Adams. I think they got Sammy Watkins as their top receiver. I'm not really afraid of their weapons. I'm afraid of Rodgers. I don't know. That one's going to be interesting. The Broncos the following week, I don't like when we travel. I'm not a fan. Russell Wilson's out there. I was hoping to catch them a little bit earlier than this. I think that's a really good team. Jerry Jeudy just got arrested too, by the way, today. So depending on what that whole situation is, maybe you see some type of suspension. I can't imagine it's at least 6 games. That would, knock him out for that game, or 7 games, I guess. So I'm going to pencil in the Broncos as a loss. I think that's a really good roster. We got smacked around by them last year with Teddy Bridgewater. I can't imagine them having Russell Wilson's going to make them worse. So, Patriots, the day before Halloween. Will Zach Wilson be seeing ghosts? I hope not. I have said it before. I want to face the Patriots. I really do. I don't love that we have to face them like 2 times in 3 weeks. Like that's a little irritating to me. But I do think we might be able to catch them sleeping a little bit. Now, as opposed to the week 1 matchup, you're talking the Patriots are going to have 8 weeks on the Jets roster to kind of break down plays. So I think this is a little more challenging facing them at this point in the season. But I'm going to pencil this one in as a potential win. I think we do split with the Dolphins and the Pats. Now we go to the Bills November 6th. Not go to the Bills. The Bills come to us November 6th. I don't see this as a win. I have a really hard time looking at the Bills and thinking there's a way for the Jets to really beat them when they're clicking on all cylinders. So for me, before the bye week, I have us potentially winning 4 games. I have 3 wins, and then the Browns game is kind of a win-loss depending on what happens with the Deshaun Watson suspension if that winds up coming down. I think for me, if you can go into the bye week 4-5 after this schedule, like this is a tough schedule to start the season. If you can go into the bye 4-5, feeling pretty good about yourself, I think you're all right. And then you come out of the bye and things start to look, a little favorable for the New York Jets. We are at the Patriots November 20th. I'm going to call this one a loss because I did say we were going to split with them. But again, we have a long break, so maybe our coaching staff can kind of kick the issue that we had in terms of coming off a bye and losing constantly. Let's see. Before I move on, I'm going to end this poll, and I'm going to create a new poll in the chat. And at the end of this, I'm going to go through and we're going to start doing your comment questions too. I just want to get you through all my my thought process here. Let's see Jets win total. That's what we're going to do. Jets win total. We're going to add 4 options. We're going to say, we'll say less than 6. That's not a less than sign. That's 2 letters I'm not trying to type. Less than 6. We're going to say 6 to 8. We're going to say 8 to 10. And then we're going to say 10 plus. All right, you guys can let me know what you think in the chat. So, what are we? We're up to week 12. Week 12 versus the Bears. This is a nice one. This one's the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I do think the Jets are going to win this one. I do not think the Bears are a very good team. I was kind of hoping we'd catch them a little bit earlier, but who knows? If the Jets can kind of sneak a win in there somewhere at the beginning part of the schedule and you maybe go into the bye at 5-4, you're going to have an outside shot at getting into the playoffs here. Obviously, you got to take care of your own business first. Week 13, you have the Vikings. Now, I had this penciled in as a loss for us because I do like that Vikings team. I like Jefferson. I like Dalvin Cook. Regardless about how you feel about Kirk Cousins, I do think he's a top half of the league quarterback, right around that 14, 15, 16 range. He's not without his mistakes, but I think going to the Vikings, it's always a tough task when you're on the road. I'm going to pencil this one in as a loss for us, but I think it's not as far-fetched as maybe some other guys may think. Now, at the Bills December 11th, I have to give us a loss. I don't have, until we beat the Bills, I really have a hard time seeing us compete against Josh Allen and that high-octane offense. That's just going to be really tough to face. December 18th versus the Lions. That's going to be a W. Bam. Is that home? Yeah, it's home for us. One of my buddies, Let's Talk Lions, is I would imagine he might come out for that game. We'll see. Good guy, though. If you don't know the Lions YouTuber, he's a good dude. Jaguars, Thursday Night Football, the Jets' only primetime game the entire year. They put the stinkfest of Jets versus Jaguars Week 16, just before Christmas. We're going to get a Christmas present here. We're going to put Trevor Lawrence 6 feet under. There's no way we're losing that game. That's a W. I'm sorry. You look at the continuity that the Jets have had, you look at the continuity that the Jags have not had, and I have far more faith in where the Jets are going than where the Jaguars are going. They drafted they signed one linebacker in free agency and they drafted 2 more. I don't know what the hell they're doing down there. Week 17 at the Seahawks. Oh, you better believe that's a W. I am not afraid of Drew Lock, and I hope we pass for 1,000 yards on Jamal Adams. I want to shut him up in the worst way. Now, remind me, is this the first time we're playing Jamal as a Seahawk, or did we face him that first year after we traded him? I think we might have. I feel like we did. I see you guys saying Geno Smith possibly playing. I would love to beat up on Geno Smith too. Geno Smith or Drew Lock. I don't care who it is. I think it's a W for the Jets. Then you finish the season at Miami. Now this is going to be an interesting game because I said we would split with Miami. And I had us winning the Jet home game in October. The end of the season, if Miami starts falling apart, if Tua can't get things clicking down there, I think the fan base is going to start to revolt. I think the locker room is going to start getting a little squirrely down there. And I think you're going to see a lot of confusion in what's going to go on. So this one I'm going to put as a win/loss right now because I do think we have the talent to do that. So going through my list right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins that I think we should get. And I have 2 more, that being the Browns game and the final Dolphins game. That would put us at 9 wins if you can win those. And that's without any kind of upsets. Now, obviously, we've been caught with our pants down before. We've had situations where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, the Jets can definitely win this one. And oh, nope, we got bounced real hard. So some of these wins could be losses for sure. And look, no one knows what the hell's going on. If you look at any of my streams the last few years, I had us going 8, 9, 10 wins. Guess what? 4 was the most we've mustered. It's, not great. But I do think this roster is better than a lot of the other ones that we've had over the course of the last few years. So I do think the floor is 7-9. I do think the ceiling is probably, if you catch a few lucky breaks, maybe you squeak out a 10-win season. But I think 7 wins should be the floor. I think that should be the expectation for Jet fans. Anything over 7 wins is a bonus, for us this year. And I just want to see competitive football. And I think the way this schedule breaks out, it sort of sets up well for the Jets to face adversity early on, be tried and tested against tough teams, and then head into the bye, recalibrate, and then come out of the bye and really get, I don't want to call it a cupcake schedule, but the back half of the schedule is definitely a lot easier than the first half. So I have us going 7-10 to 9-8, somewhere in that realm. So that's probably where all Jet fans were kind of pegging us to be anyway. But we will see. Let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Santoriu says we are beating Jamal all day. I really hope so. I don't want to lose to him. Ronald says the thing is the hardest part of the schedule. We should be all healthy. That's a good way to look at this. If you're healthy going into the beginning part of the schedule, and now you've had an opportunity for some of your other guys to learn the playbook and kind of click a little bit more, then maybe on the back half of the schedule, once you're firing on all cylinders, maybe this is where the Jets start to take off a little bit. But if you're healthy for the start, at least you got all your ammo. Joe S. agrees. Tough schedule. Yes, it's the second hardest schedule in the NFL. Sherwood Callaway says it doesn't matter. They are not going to get in the playoffs and fight their way through. Hey, you never know. No one thought the Bengals were going to get into the playoffs, let alone go to the Super Bowl. So things can happen. Antonio, yes, he broke the sack record on us. Yes, that was that first season after the trade, right? Thought we played them. God, they suck. FBJT. Imagine picking off Geno and throwing all over Jamal. Geno doesn't really bother me that much. Like, I don't want to lose to him, but I don't really have as much hatred towards Geno as I do for Jamal. I think he's kind of a dum-dum for not paying his debts and getting socked in the face. But that's another story. Oreo says, remember, my brothers, we have talent, but not proven talent. Big difference. Oreo's right. This is something where you can, on paper, we look a lot better than it may wind up being. That's I think most teams are probably gonna, if you go around the league and you look at every team's YouTubers, you take the schedules and the wins that you think they're gonna get, and then you put them all together. I guarantee there's far more wins than could possibly happen when teams wind up facing each other. So I would bet any team that is scheduled to play against us is probably saying, hey, we could beat the Jets. Now, you might be getting some division rivals that might say, hey, maybe we split with them. But I don't think there's many people that are thinking they are going to lose to us. Christian says, I like your optimism. Thank you. Alfonso says 7 wins. Riley says ceiling is 8 wins, floor is 5 wins. Oh God, if we only win 5 games, so what games are you saying we're gonna win? If it's a floor, you're probably saying Bears, Lions, Jags, Dolphins, Patriots. Are you saying those 5? God, that would suck. That would be a really rough season. I hope that's not the case. Kevin C says, don't think this schedule is as tough as fans are whining about. Ravens are a 500 team. Browns without Watson. Kenny Pickett, ? Broncos, Dolphins, Perfect bye week and really soft down the stretch. So I think it's a tough schedule, but it's not the worst. Technically, it's the second worst. So I would say the Ravens are definitely above a 500 team. This team should be the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC, in my mind. When Lamar is clicking on all cylinders, he is damn near impossible to beat. Browns without Watson, we don't know if he's going to get suspended yet. I anticipate that to happen, but it could happen next year. Or maybe they say, hey, we're going to count your entire missed season last year as your suspension. That would get me mad. I wouldn't like to see that. Kenny Pickett, I don't think Kenny Pickett starts. I really don't. I think Mitch Trubisky is going to wind up starting. I think they're going to let Kenny Pickett kind of learn a little bit, and then maybe if the wheels start to come off, then they throw him in towards the tail end of the season. Broncos, I do agree the Broncos are probably the 4th best in their own division. I'm more afraid of the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Raiders than I am of the Broncos. And I don't think Russell Wilson, to me, feels like he's probably on the back 9 of his career. I think his best football is behind him, but I do think that he's probably still tough to beat. Like, I'm not saying he's like not a top half of the league quarterback. Like, I would say he's definitely that, I think he's top 15. That's what I think he is. Now it's just a matter of, are they going to be clicking? What winds up happening? I don't know. I have a tough time seeing us going out west after seeing how we traveled last year out west. And, I think we're going to get smacked around a little bit there unless we can contain him. The Dolphins are I agree. I think we could wind up sweeping the Dolphins. By that same token, I think there's probably equal % chance that the Jets could get swept by the Dolphins too. Like, that's not a fun way to look at it, but I'm not afraid of Tua. I think the Jets have the talent to really put a beat down on. As far as a bye week, week 10, way better than it was. Last year was week 4, 5? It was horrible. Really soft down the stretch. Completely agree. The Jet Show says, good luck scrambling with Lawson and JJ out there. I'm hoping we can pin our ears back. I really want to come after the quarterbacks on the opposing team, especially if you can get a lead early and you force teams to throw the ball. If we can run the ball, we could play that ball control type offense, and you don't allow them to eat clock. You let them, like, force them to throw, so that way our edge rushers can pin their ears back. That's what we got into trouble with last year. We couldn't score points. We were causing our own turnovers. We weren't stopping the run. Like, all those things combined added up to the other team scoring some points, forcing us to throw and allowing them to run. And it compounds, and it's really a shitty cycle that you wind up getting yourself stuck in. So yeah, if we can score some points with this newer high octane offense, even if we give up some points, but force other teams to throw and play catch up with us, then I think we got a shot. As long as we can rush our front four and create pressure on the quarterback, we're going to create some errant throws. And you're going to get some opportunities for turnovers with Whitehead, with Reed, with Sauce, and all those other guys back there. I think you're onto something. Jets fan forever. Come on. Pull up. Bam. He says 12-5 is the ceiling for us if we have a huge breakout season from Zach Wilson. If we have a huge breakout from Zach Wilson, this changes everything. I don't see us getting to 12-5. I think that's a very optimistic take there, Jets fan. But I'm not going to rain on your parade. No problem. John says, you play to win the game any given Sunday. Just hope we can stay healthy and compete to be in it in December. Yeah, that's just it. I want to be playing meaningful games. Like, I don't want to go through the first half of this schedule and see like 0-6. If we get to 0-6, that's when you start getting the boo birds out and you start getting like the mock drafts ready, and I don't want to see that. I want to see this team stay focused and play competitive football. I'm okay losing a few games because we're young or because we make a stupid mistake. Like, I'm all right with that, but play competitively. I don't want to see a blowout and then have us like, we scored a garbage time touchdown or two and made it a one-score game. Like, that's not a competitive game for me. I want to see drives going back and forth. I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want to be excited to watch this team play. And last year, I was excited to watch Zach Wilson play. I would say I was not very excited to watch the losses that we wound up dealing with. Charles says, hey, Ryan, I have the Jets going 11-6 this year with wins over the Pats, Dolphins, Lions, Jags, Bears, Vikings, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so you have us sweeping the Patriots and the Dolphins, Charles? Is that what you're saying? I think that's a little optimistic. For me, beating the Browns, who knows? Maybe if Watson plays and it's only his second time playing in 2 years on a new team, maybe there's a situation the Jets do come away with a win even with him playing. That team is so good. So good. And they can rely on their running game with Hunt, friggin' Chubb. I don't know if we can stop that 1-2 punch. And I really don't see us beating the Ravens. As much as I would love to get a home win week 1 against the Ravens, I don't think it's going to happen. Josh Scott drops in. Says, Chargers made a hilarious anime video for theirs. If you guys know that, or Josh, if you have it, if you want to send it to me via DM on either Twitter, Instagram, any of that sort of stuff, send it to me. I like looking at that sort of stuff. Anytime you guys find something funny, send it to me, because I do end up doing stories on things that you guys send me if I find stuff funny. And I like this kind of stuff. William Van Roygen says, if we're 4-5 before the bye, the second half of the season we can definitely make the playoffs. 4-5 heading into the bye. That means, so put it this way, you needed a tie last year to be the 7 seed. And I don't think the AFC got any easier. So let's say we need to be 10-6. That means you're getting 6 wins after the bye week. Patriots, Bears, Vikings, Bills, Seahawks, Dolphins, Jaguars, Lions. Oh, man. If we are it's going to be hard for me to see. If we're 4-5 heading into the bye, it better be a 4-5 where you played seriously competitive football against the teams that you lost against in the first half of the season to really justify a potential playoff run, because it's not going to be easy. I do think the Jets have the opportunity to be the second best team in the AFC East. I still don't have a lot of faith in the Patriots. I don't have a lot of faith in the Dolphins, but I don't think the East is going to get a second team in the playoffs. Now, there's an outside chance that the AFC West beats the snot out of each other. And I do think the AFC North could beat up on themselves as well. I think only the division winner from the South is going to make it in. So who knows? Maybe it's a little different. Bargified says, will Baker play though? I don't think Baker ever suits up for the Browns again. I think they're going to end up having to cut him. I don't think any team's going to trade for him, and I don't think he wants to play for them anymore, which really sucks. I as much as Baker's not the quarterback that everyone was kind of hoping he'd be coming out of college, I really like Baker for his passion and for the grit that he showed last year, playing injured, trying to do everything he could to will his team to win. And look, you could tell he wasn't 100%. It was very clear. And for them to go out and get Watson, I'm all for upgrading your quarterback position. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity to kind of get that sort of player. But Baker wanted to be in Cleveland. The only reason Watson is in Cleveland is because Cleveland said, hey, we'll give you everything fully guaranteed. That's the only reason he went there. He was saying no to Cleveland before that. I don't know. I feel bad. Zachary says, playing the entire AFC North to start the season is extremely odd. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, the whole first 4 weeks is the AFC North. That's screwy. So our first division game isn't until week 5. Yeah, that is odd. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it's definitely weird. Scott V says we need some linebacker help badly. We got some run-heavy teams. Yeah, I mean, look at the beginning, right? Ravens, Browns, Steelers, even the Bengals, while they're still a throwing team. Gee, Mixon's no joke. But yeah, 3 of our first 4 opponents are heavy run teams. You could even say the Packers, as much as they have Rodgers, Jones, and Dillon, those guys are legit. Say Jones, Adams? What the heck is their running back's name? I thought it was Jones. What the hell am I talking about? Patriots are even still kind of a running team. Heck, they won a game with friggin' Mac Jones throwing 3 passes. Let's see. Oreo, what are you saying? What if by week 7 we are 1-6? Can't wait to see your videos, Ryan. Hate being upset, but that's the only positive I take away from Sundays after losses. Wow. You like seeing my videos after losses? Seeing me upset? Oh, geez. Look, if we go 1-6, that's gonna be a bit of a, not a little bit, that's gonna be a huge letdown. You gotta start winning games. You have to have some games that you can win after having a 2-win season, a 4-win season. There were games that we won last year that we were not supposed to win. That gives me hope. And look, there's going to be injuries, not just to our team, but to other teams. Look, we could have a quarterback go down. Josh Allen goes down. Those could be 2 wins against Buffalo. Anyone have faith in Matt Barkley leading them to a playoff or a promised land? Any given Sunday, boys and girls. Josh Scott says, couldn't DM you, but I tagged you. I got to figure out how to let people DM me. I think I have to follow you in order to do that. And I don't follow anyone on Twitter, or at least not many people. I just don't want to get my feed all cluttered up. Chris says take calls. Sorry, Chris, not taking calls. What is Socrates saying? Ryan, Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza is the best. It's my draft day tradition. Don't let the haters get you down, brother. I just had it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno pizza downstairs. Got home from work and I was like, I'm just going to throw a pizza in the oven. Man, I miss me some Hut. There's not even a close Pizza Hut near me. Clipped says, Ryan, can you predict Zach Wilson's season stats? Yes, I've talked about this a little bit in some of my streams and videos. And last year I made a video specifically talking about Zach Wilson's stats for his rookie year and how Kyle Shanahan led his quarterbacks in Jimmy Garoppolo and Matt Ryan, the two quarterbacks he had, prior, and their first seasons, and how they sort of performed. And for me, I think the whole key to this is now you don't have a rookie quarterback, because that was the issue, right? Because Jimmy Garoppolo was not a rookie. Matt Ryan was not a rookie. I mean, you didn't get to see a full season from Garoppolo. You had to kind of extrapolate his stats. But I think if you can get 230 yards a game from Zach Wilson, what does that put us at? Got to break the calculator out because I haven't done this in a little bit. 230 yards a game times 17 games. That gets you just under 4,000 yards. So if you add like 5 yards a game, 240 yards probably breaks our passing record for the season. So I would like to see above 200, between 200 and 230 yards a game from Zach Wilson through the air. And then I'd like to see a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, something like 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I don't mind seeing interceptions if he's got the higher touchdowns to kind of offset it. Almost like the Brett Favre argument, right? Like he was scoring so many touchdowns that the interceptions, while some of them were backbreaking, a lot of them didn't tend to hurt as bad because you were scoring all those points. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Bargified says, the real test will be how our young team handles the media if they go on an early losing streak. I think based on the way they handled it last year, they're going to be just fine handling it this year. Now, there's far more hype and far more pressure to win than there was with a rookie quarterback, but I don't see Zach playing that poorly. Now, I do think the Ravens have a very good defense, and I would be lying if I said I thought that wasn't going to be it could be a duplicate of last year against the Patriots for the opener. And man, that's like, not that that's the one team I didn't want to face early on, but like Lamar Jackson, I think is like the most lethal quarterback in this entire league. It's really hard for me to see a win there. And then, yeah, dude, you want to try and go through adversity, but I don't want to see a losing streak. I want to see, get us 4 wins. 4 wins by the bye, and I'm okay with that. Mr. Mike says, I'm just praying for few injuries this season. Let the other teams take the bug for a while. Yeah, it feels like the Jets are just snake bitten, right? Like if you can get rid of the whole injury bug, and look, the Jets have the least amount of dead cap this year too. So for those of you guys that don't know, we had $32 million in dead cap last year. That's from contracts that are no longer contracts that are being hit against our cap that with players that are not on our team. Sam Darnold, Le'Veon Bell, Kelechi Osemele. I don't know if Enunwa was in there. Tremaine Johnson. Tremaine Johnson last year got paid more money, or our dead cap was higher from Tremaine Johnson than the entirety of our cornerback room put together, outside of Justin Hardy. Justin Hardy was a special teamer. So injury-wise, big thing. Dead cap money, $32 million. That's the difference of having 2 more players of Carl Lawson's caliber on this roster. That's what the Jets picked up. Now we have $2 million in dead cap this year. Obviously, it could go up a little bit if we wind up having a few cuts towards the end part of the summer, so it might go up a little bit. But by and large, this is the best complement of cap space and players that we've had since Douglas has been here. Antonio. All right, let's see. So he has a loss against the Ravens, winning against the Browns, winning against the Bengals, a loss to the Steelers, win against the Dolphins, win against the Packers, loss against the Broncos, win against the Pats, loss against the Bills, win against the Pats, Bears, Vikings, Bills loss, Lions win, Jags win, Seattle win, Dolphins win, Jets go 12-5. Jeez. I like the optimism. This one I'm just showing because I couldn't even tell you the last time I had Burger King fries. This was probably the one argument that I've gotten with so many people on draft day that like I don't stand firmly behind at all. But I do like the thick cut fries. That being said, I had Wendy's today. I really like Wendy's fries. Adam Hartwig says, we need to take 2 of those AFC North games to get momentum into the beginning of the season. If we can come away with victories against that's probably right. If you go Browns and Steelers, or maybe you can catch the Bengals again, maybe they have that slump after a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl loser tends to have a bad season the following year because the emotions are so drained, and the team is just, you're playing a different schedule. Like the Bengals, I believe, they had to play a last place schedule last year because they faced us. So they had an easier schedule last year. So that's not going to be the case this season. Bus says a Matt Barkley Bills team did beat us before. It's a different team, though, my friend. Ray Parker says the start to the season is pretty brutal. However, the second half, if we stay healthy, has a lot of winnable games. Coming out of the bye is going to be really interesting, and I think, at least give me the option to see the little in the hunt. If things go squirrely, how we look at the draft the last few years and you say, oh, can the Jets get the number 1 pick? Where are they going to finish up? Well, if this happens and then this happens and this happens, that's okay. I just want to see a little graphic that doesn't say, hey, Jets are out of the playoff race by beginning of November. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm okay. The Real J says Quincy has to be backup and Joyner too small. Joe needs to keep adding if the goal is to compete. Joyner played really well with the Rams at safety, and then he moved to the Raiders where he played nickel corner, and that is just not his position. He did not play well those 2 years. Last year, I thought we were poised for a nice season from Joyner, and now he has the injury on top of it. We haven't seen him play in 3 years. I'm looking at him as a way for us to communicate our defense more than I'm looking at him as a really good option at safety at this point. Anything we get from him is kind of a bonus for me. I'm hoping Whitehead can be the violence maybe on that, in the safety room. And then we have a few guys that we're going to rotate between. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Trippy Douglas says 16-1. We will lose week 3 because the MVP won't play. Who was the MVP this year? Isn't that the Nathan Peterman Award? Is that right? Or Mitch Trubisky? I think Mitch won it in a loss. The Knicks' most valuable player. Oh, geez. Kaiser says, I would go 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 7 rushing touchdowns. Wow. If you could get that, that is a great season from Zach Wilson. I'm 31 touchdowns. So 4,000 yards would be our best season from a passer since Joe Namath. That was a 14-game schedule. 31 touchdowns would break our touchdown record set by Fitzpatrick in 2015 at 30 touchdowns. 14 interceptions and an additional 7 rushing. That's a franchise quarterback, boys and girls. You get this stat line, I'm going to be very, very happy. Let's see. So I'm looking at the poll right now. We have 474 votes. So cast your vote. Get in there. 9% say less than 6 wins. 52% say 6 to 8 wins. 33% say 8 to 10 wins. And 5% say 10 plus. Guys are good. Guys are good. The Real J, did the Bengals do anything to get better? I'm sure they added some pieces. I think they added some offensive linemen. I have to go back and look and see who they actually added, but I'm almost positive they got the guy from Tampa, which caused the Patriots to trade their guard to Tampa. Marpet retired. Who was the one that left? I can't think of who it was, but I'm pretty sure he wound up going to Cincinnati. Roland says, was in the moral victory camp. Lose but show improvement. But I think I'm going 70s Raiders and just win, baby. Blowout, last second skin of your teeth, any which way. I want to win. I just want to find ways to win. I don't mind if it's on trick plays. I don't mind if it's on a last second field goal. Heck, we got Greg the Leg Zuerlein. This is the chance to see a good kicker again. I got my fingers crossed. Ooh, Drippy Douglas says, hot take, Bengals finish last in the AFC North. I don't see any way the Steelers don't finish last. Like, I think the Steelers are the worst team there. I think they have the worst quarterback. Their roster's not bad. They have a really strong defense. You got Najee Harris. You got Deontay Johnson. You got Chase Claypool. You got some weapons there. But I don't see a way the Bengals finish last. Kevin C. says, one thing is certain, MetLife will be rocking on 9/11. I can't wait to go to the home opener. The home opener is a lot of fun because you don't know what you're getting. Like, you could be surprised. The Jets may be way better than all of us are thinking. They might be the Bengals of last year, this year. You can turn it around fast in the NFL. Will it be rocking? You're damn right. We'll have myself, O'Leary, Green Bean. I'm sure Tyson and Primetime are going to be there from Let's Talk Jets Radio. Jets Media. Richie's going to be over at the game, I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of guys. We'll do some kind of meetup. I'm sure Sack Exchange is going to have his tailgate over at the Jet Lounge or whatever's going on with that. It's going to be interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to it. Antonio says, I can see the Pats taking a step back, and Bill will show out of touch and age. Packers got a lack of wide receiver depth, and only reason why the Bengals went to the Super Bowl is because the Jets weren't in the playoffs. That's a great take. I appreciate that one. I think if the Bills had won against the Chiefs, there's no way the Bengals get into the Super Bowl, because I think the Bills were so primed to win a ring last year, and to lose the way they lost in that Chiefs game, I would have been surprised if anyone stopped them. I think the Chiefs were emotionally exhausted heading into the Bengals game. I don't know. Bill being out of touch, until he starts losing games, it's hard to go against Belichick. Now, I do think facing him earlier in the season isn't necessarily a bad thing. I would have liked to verse them late in the season as well. Like, I would have liked to catch them week 1, punch him in the mouth, and then at the end of the season when Mac Jones doesn't know how to play in cold weather, I would have preferred that. Maxwell says, you guys should do a quick broadcast at halftime. Week 1, we could do that. Normally, so if you guys don't know, if you tune into the Jet Nation YouTube channel at halftime, you'll see O'Leary, Green Bean, and I. We do a halftime show. Green Bean streams the whole game, and then Matt and I will jump on for 10, 15 minutes, kind of give our thoughts on how the game's going, and then we hop out. But yeah, if we're all sitting together for week 1, we can do a little bit of a stream. See what the fans' pulse is. That'd be a lot of fun. Antonio says the Bengals also got La'el Collins. I wanted him. Not necessarily this year, but I wanted him a while back. Cool AIDS. That's a heck of a name. Rams went from 4-12 to 12-4 and a Super Bowl win with Kurt Warner. Anything is possible, especially when you have the greatest show on turf. So, glass half full, I guess. Matt says, to answer your question, the Bengals added guard from Tampa Bay and La'el Collins at right tackle and drafted Daxton Hill in the draft. That's the safety from Michigan. And I still think we'll beat the Bengals again. As long as we sweep the Pats and Finns, I'm happy. If we can sweep the Pats and the Finns, I'm going to be such an obnoxious Jet fan, no one's going to want to listen to me. I have wanted to talk so much shit for so long, and we've just been spinning our tires on bad teams and bad coaching and bad decisions that I just haven't been able to talk shit. Just wait. We start winning games, we're going to start mouthing off. You might have to have a censored button on here for when I drop some bombs. I want to see you guys do a shotgun, then comment. So Green Bean won't do it. Maybe I can get Matt to do it. Matt's gluten free, so I guess he'd have to have a White Claw. I'll shotgun a White Claw with Matt. like a claw. Actually, week 1, Joe Blewett said I have to go to their tailgate. So Joe and I will definitely be hanging out. I owe him a shotgun from last year at the home opener. I was supposed to go see him. I didn't go see him. I'm a bad friend. We'll do a shotgun for sure. Actually, we were talking about doing a strikeout. If you don't know what a strikeout is, you can Google that. And maybe that's something we can do there. We'll see. What else we got going on? The Real J says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That's the approach the Jets got to take when playing these teams. That is the Michael Clemens comment. He loves the bull rush. He loves punching a guy in the mouth over and over and over again and making him think about what's going to happen next. And then you give him the bull rush and you throw that spin move on. Whew, catch him backpedaling. The Real J says, I don't see us losing to the Vikings or Steelers if Zach makes a jump at all gas. If he makes the jump, this changes a lot of how we're looking at this schedule. Kaiser says, I know Garrett Wilson gets compared to Odell often, but he reminds me more of Antonio Brown, minus the off-the-field incidents. There's a few guys you can kind of compare him to. Odell's a popular one. I've heard people say Diggs or Jefferson from the Vikings. Odell, to me, feels like the best fit because Odell can jump out of the gym. I never really got that vibe from Antonio Brown. Not that he's not a great athlete, but it just like there's an explosive aspect to Odell and a 0 to 60 that's like crazy fast. That's sort of where I see Garrett Wilson. Jeremy says we kind of got screwed AFC North first 4 games. It could be a good thing. Watson hasn't played in 2 years. The Bengals probably are not better than they were last year, unless they really grow a whole lot. But I don't know. They improved their offensive line. The Browns and the Steelers are the 2 teams of the AFC North that I think the Jets have a shot against. And it's mainly because I don't trust the Steelers quarterback, and then we don't know who's playing quarterback for the Browns. Hennessy says, we can sweep the Finns, the Pats. Will be tough, but I would love to split with Buffalo. I would love to get a win against Buffalo. Even if we wound up not sweeping the Pats or the Dolphins, winning against Buffalo, I don't know if people are going to look at it as they slept on the Jets, or I would love to play them close and then maybe not win and then play them a second time and knock their socks off. That would prove to me that we're for real, as opposed to it just being teams fell asleep against the Jets and we caught them sleeping. Manny C, so you think we beat the Bengals but not the Ravens? I would much rather face Joe Burrow than Lamar Jackson. I really think Lamar Jackson is such an insanely hard quarterback to guard against. His legs and his arm. His arm is so powerful. He's not super accurate, but the way he runs and the way that team is going to run the ball from the running back position and play with the tight end position, I don't know if our linebackers, the way the Jets are currently structured right now, if we're going to be able to do what I think we need to do against Lamar. Are we really going to be blitzing this guy like crazy, or at least sending our front 4, and then all of a sudden this guy is just dipping out of the pocket and running wild on us? I think you're going to have to play a lot of zone, a lot of guys, shading Lamar Jackson. Maybe Quincy just plays that spiral and just follows him left and right. Doesn't matter what responsibility you have, just watch Lamar and knock the snot out of him if you can. Brendan says, we have such a tough schedule. Bruh, why does this always happen to us? Well, we had one of the easier schedules last year. This year, we just so happened to face the North for the AFC and the NFC, and teams that were bad became better. That's basically what it is. But look, the back half of the schedule is not that bad. I think if the Jets take a step forward, this schedule changes dramatically. If the Patriots take a step back, that makes our strength of schedule easier. We'll have to see what winds up happening. And look, injuries change a lot too. Joseph, this is the second person that said, please go see the San Diego Chargers schedule video. They did a whole anime. It's incredible. A whole anime like a... Okay, let me pull it up on Twitter and see what it is. Maybe I could show it on the screen and we can all take a watch together. Notifications. Let's see. What we got going on? So it's a 2-minute. All right. Let's do this. Let's share this. Can I share the screen? Do I know how to share the screen? I don't know if I know how to share the screen. I'll find this. If I do this, all right. Let's see if I can do this. Can I move this over? Whoop. Let's see if I can change this so it's just Google, Twitter. Okay. Let's pull these bad boys off the screen. Whoa. Not what I was trying to do. Can I move it down? Does moving it down do anything? All right. That was really cool. That was neat. All right, back to over here. I want the Jets to be able to do stuff like that. That's a lot of fun. All right. Let's see. What are we talking about? Boo Down Bronx says, delusional Jets fan here. I don't know about you guys, but I love the schedule. Going to test the character of this team right off the bat. Love it. So if this team can be as violent and exciting, I don't know. If they can stick together the way I think they can stick together, and they hit the marks that we think they should be able to hit. I'm not talking about anything stellar. Like, let's rush for 150 yards a game. Let's control time of possession. If the Jets can win the time of possession battle, there's a real good shot the Jets are going to come away winners in a lot of games. Kaiser says we should make some Carl Lawson edit. Yeah, Carl Lawson's a big anime guy. I think Dragon Ball Z was his jam. Love me some Dragon Ball Z. J-Boy says the Jets video was better. I didn't know the Jets put out a video. I think it's probably... let's see. Let's see if I can find it. So we'll watch that too. You think we'd watch the Jet video, not the Chargers video. Let's see. What did we come out with? I see the New Heights video. play a non-AFC North team or draw 25. The Jets draw 25. Oh, the Jets have a pretty good video. Okay, let's take a look at this one. All right, give me a sec. Let me pull it up. All right, here we go. Can I make it bigger? What? Is that too big? Oh, gonna be too big. Let's go down. All right. We're gonna play this one. Let's see what we got going on.
Till I got the microphone. Oh, you got a microphone? Yeah. Man.
Hey, dog. Like I said at the beginning of the week, bro. We needed this, bro. Yes, sir.
What an excellent route. Berrios shot out of a cannon.
Down the middle, he's got it. Elijah Moore, the 20, the 10, the 5.
And so Saleh rolls the dice. That second timeout to think about it a little bit more. They changed their mind.
And now they say touchdown.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all already know. Y'all already know. Let's put all the pieces together.
And a nice drive put together by the Jets.
I appreciate your effort, man. Hell of a job. You should be proud of yourself.
Hey, here we go, boys. Just fly around and do what the y'all know what to do. Don't put too much thought into it. Just have some fun out there, boys.
Team effort, team effort, team effort.
Quinnen Williams, he has been a monster for the Jets.
Hey, and the key is let's start fast. Start fast. Let's be dominant. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate!
Is that Lawson?
Let's ride, baby. Let's ride, baby. Till the wheels fall off, baby. Till the wheels fall off.
We behind enemy lines today. Ain't nothing else needs to be said. We behind enemy lines today.
Yay!
Get to play Jacksonville for Christmas.
You a dog. You a dog.
And it is caught. Corey Davis again. His second of the day.
Bring it in. I need to feel your energy. I need to feel your energy today from start to finish. From start to finish.
All right, the Jets do a good job with this sort of stuff. I really enjoy how they handle their media team. Oh, okay, I like that one. I'm a fan. All right. All right, so boys and girls, let's round this out. I'm going to go through my win-loss records again. I have Ravens loss, home opener, unfortunately. I have a coin flip for the Browns and the Jets, whether or not Watson or backup quarterback plays. I have a loss week 3 to the Bengals, a win against the Steelers, a win against the Dolphins, a loss against the Packers, loss against the Broncos, win against the Patriots, loss against the Bills. That would get us somewhere between 4-5 and 3-6 heading into the bye. I think 4-5, you got to feel pretty good about yourself with that first part of the season. Week 10, perfect bye week for a young team. You come out, hopefully you can get a win against the Patriots. I do have a loss there. I have a win against the Bears, a loss against the Vikings, a loss against the Bills, and then the Jets basically winning out weeks 15, 16, 17 with a coin flip being 18. Because if the wheels come off for the Miami Dolphins and Tua, I think that is absolutely a situation where the Jets can take advantage of it and go on a really nice hot streak towards the end of the season. I just want to see us in the little box at the bottom that says, can the Jets get into the playoffs if X, Y, and Z goes down? Mumtaz says 6 wins would max. What do we do then to improve? FK. I don't want 6 wins. If we get 6 wins, I'm going to be really upset. Get out of here, Mumtaz. You jerk. Get me. I'm all sorts of excited now. You drop in a 6-win comment. Come on. All right. Boys and girls, let me know in the comment section of this video down below what your record prediction is, because I want to go through and I just want to see what you guys sort of said. The poll question has closed. We had 635 votes. The winner was between 6 and 8 wins. That was 49% of the vote. 8 to 10 wins was 34%. Less than 6 was 10%. And then 10 plus was only 6% of you guys. Shocked that was not a little bit higher than that. But boys, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. Hopefully the Jets can get a favorable start to the season and we get some winning this year. Let me know your comment predictions down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.